Oh, today let's look at what is another problem with the national education policy of 2020. One of the things that it does is that it lays an extreme emphasis on what it calls Indian languages in general and Sanskrit in particular. So it wants to sort of have a medium instruction in Indian languages, it wants to develop literature in Indian languages, it wants to sort of do scientific research in Indian languages, so on and so forth, right? So the first things first, what is an Indian language is something that the document doesn't define. If you go into the other documents of the ministry, they don't define it well either, right? Like, so there are what are Indo-European languages, there are what are Dravidian languages, there are what are Sino-Indian languages, there are other such language families that linguists sort of recognize, right? Indian language is a political categorization, right? Like, no linguist is going to sort of club Dravidian languages and Indo-European languages into one bucket, but that's what the government of India does. And it doesn't even do in an explicit manner. It sort of does it like sort of some hand-wavy thing. So the problem is, what counts as an Indian language? Is it one that sort of originated in India and is spoken in India? Well, in that case, what happens is, neither English nor Sanskrit sort of originated in India, right? And the document goes on and on about Sanskrit. So, like, how does that work? If that's not the case, and if it's only those that are spoken in India and did not, you don't have to worry about where it originated, well, then English, at least, like as I am speaking to you right now, is spoken in India, whereas Sanskrit, for all practical purposes, is dead. So, then how does that square with the overemphasis on Sanskrit? That again makes no sense, right? So the problem is that there is a political motive behind bringing the idea of Indian languages into what is the three language formula, especially to people in the South, because what they fear is that this is sort of Hindi hegemony by sort of the back door, right? Like, because people are required to, or at least either explicitly or implicitly, learn Hindi. And if you sort of also have an emphasis on Indian languages, then that sort of pushes away English as the primary link language, which then puts people from southern India whose native sort of language isn't Hindi at a disadvantage. And that is a problem.